Hey everyone, how you doing? Just checking that we're going live. It appears we are. I'm just opening up my email to check I've not missed out any email. Hey, it's what day is it? It's Tuesday, 25th of March. I've gone live just because I've had very busy morning. Other than the fact I had a dental appointment to sort out, to remove a filling, to check a crack in the tooth, and then refill the filling and all of that sort of stuff, which was all okay. But I've had a very eventful morning in terms of speaking to some clients and just ironing out some work and stuff. And I even got to record a video literally half an hour ago. The best time to record a video, I'm starting to find now, is normally I like to record videos really early in the morning. Oh, I've just realized. Oh no, I've just realized there might be a reflection on my glasses. That's my fault. Normally when I record, I should have this monitor dimmed down, so I'm hoping it won't have affected the video I just recorded. But hey, um, normally I like to record very early in the morning. When I say early, I mean 9 a.m. I mean, that's not super early, but it's pretty a good time. Because it means you get in, get the stuff done, and then you can work on other stuff and you can edit whenever. Because I've switched back into doing almost daily live chats, if I know the video I'm recording is going to take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, I can do it like an hour before I go live. So because I can set all my lights up, everything like that, sort out all the audio, everything, and then I can just go live, right? And then, sorry, I can then record. And when recording's done, I can just jump into a live. Because if you do the recording in the morning, you have to set everything up, do your recording, then put everything away almost because now you're working. And then you have to reset everything back up. Hey Gary, how you doing? Hey Chris, Liquid Media, I hope you're all okay. So obviously we got a little bit of a audio update from Elementor about version 4. And it's basically like what we're all saying, global class system. I think it's going to be similar to the whole bricks and other page builders as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and how it works with Elementor, more so from the legacy clients and the new system. Because we all remember how there was a bit of a shift from sections to flex containers. You can still use both, but it's going to be like, have you got a legacy website? If you then activate a feature, will it affect your website? Most likely it will not, but what does it mean for the settings? Because they did talk about style and all of that. All I think it's going to do, I'm doing okay, thanks, Gary. I think all it's going to do is just shift where things sit. Do you know what I mean? So you could go to like the heading widget, and you got the content, the style, and the advanced tab. They may change it or shrink it down or whatever they're going to do. All it means is the setting just sits somewhere else. It doesn't mean you will lose it. That being said, though, we could lose something. Who knows? So it'll be interesting to see how that works. But I can tell you now, no matter how good the pseudo classes will be, or the class system will be, I don't think there's going to be any need for you to go out and change your existing client websites. I've still got clients where their websites are still section and columns because they were built so long ago. And we still, to this day, their websites are on the latest versions of Elementor, Elementor Pro, some of them on latest WooCommerce as well. They don't have a single issue, even with a section column website. Okay. So I know there's going to be loads of people going, oh, but I've got like 50 clients or whatever. When they bring out version 4, I'm going to have to change all of them. I don't think you will. I don't think you will. I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised. I think you're still going to be able to run them. You can update them, but you don't have to suddenly switch to a completely new feature. Alex going live on Facebook later with another designer. Is there good software to stream live on both accounts? You might want to try EV Mux. You want to try EV Mux. But Alex, these are the things you need to have sorted out way before. But if you want to go live on two separate things, you may. StreamYard is good, but a lot of them are good. Restream all of them, but they're quite expensive. When you work out what you want to do, you're paying a lot and the quality isn't brilliant. I think a lot of people overlook the whole quality aspect. EV Mux, in fact, what's their name? Primal Video. I follow them in YouTube. They're great for tips and tricks about, tech and stuff like that, especially cameras, not cameras, software, streaming, and all of that. They even put EV Mux as their ultimate top one. They used to have StreamYard above them, and now they've dropped StreamYard because of quality issues and stuff they've noticed that I actually noticed 2 years ago. They now use EV Mux. So EV Mux, Ecamm is used by a lot of Mac users, but remember, just because it's used by a lot of people doesn't mean it's the best. Ecamm, though, is good. I will give its due. But, in terms of complexity, EV Mux is so easy, right? And you can invite up to 12 people, right? It is 20, I think it's $25, $29 or something. Kind of thing. Hey, Case. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of people that use Ecamm and other software, but I'm talking from experience. So I would say that because I've looked at so many of them, and I have found that EV Mux gets my tick. So when I was doing live chats, and sometimes Atif or Mark Harris or Paul would jump on, that was all via EV Mux. And you can have up to 12 people, and you can stream to like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, loads of places. I don't because I just don't want to pay for it anymore, because I was a bit like, I only use it now and again. And really, I find that a lot of people prefer it if it's just me talking sometimes. I might go back into doing joint live chats again, but then I get to jump on other people's kind of thing. But when it's my one, it's some people prefer it if it's just me ranting and talking shit kind of thing. So version 4, it was this little pity. I was hoping that we'd get a few more screenshots or something. It was a bit of a pity that I was hoping so. The dialogue we got, or the narrative, was good, but it did also just repeat what I already knew in a way, kind of thing. But because we didn't visually see anything, it still feels very conceptual. But I think we're going to get something around about end of June, July. And then it will be rolled out bit by bit by bit. So obviously, once we know what's coming out, there'll be videos from me on that, and it'll just be my view, my take. I won't be biased. If when I see it, I feel like it's not clear, or I'm unsure, or they've missed a step, I will be putting my tuppence in, to say what I want. Question by Case. Any suggestions on reCAPTCHA alternatives? Now, Turnstile is the one I hear a lot. Clean Talk is also the one I hear a lot. WP Armor, Anti-Spam B. I don't know a huge amount about them because I've not used them, but Turnstile, 2 years ago, people kept saying Clean Talk, but more recently, Turnstile seems to be the one people go, yeah, this is much more robust in what it does, so you might want to have a think about that. K's V4 stopped watching halfway through the video due to lack of... Yeah, I mean, I watched it all. I was hoping we'd get like a bit of a sneak peek kind of thing. But I think what was missing, though, in that video, and this is me putting over my assumptions, is that little bit of reassurance for legacy people, where I believe that if you've got an old website, V4 won't affect your old websites. And even if the settings, layouts, the style changes, because they talked a lot about, the style, and we got all these tabs and CSS and all of that. If that changes, your widgets that you've built will still be as they are. All we're changing is the interface. So I feel like they could have made that clearer, because there will be people who watch that and go, oh crap, is version 4 going to be so different, but I've got to rebuild all my client websites now? I feel like sometimes you need to provide reassurance. When you've worked in the corporate world, okay, and you are now implementing or proposing a pace of change, or a change or some sort, You need to give reassurances. Otherwise, people talk, right? They go off into their little groups and go, oh, what about this? What about that? What does this mean for this? Does that mean I lose this benefit? Oh my God, where am I going to work? Who's our boss? People start doing all that. So I always say that you need to provide the reassurance. You should be preempting the questions. You should have an idea, right? This is what we're going to do. What will people be worried about? And if they do need to be worried, we need to let them know now. Let them know now that there is potential for X, Y, Z to happen. Yeah, and what WebLogic says there. So some people were finding that clean talk was too severe. So like you said, whereas Turnstile seems to be a better choice. WebLogic, do you think with Divi 5 coming that you'll see a head-to-head? No, not really. I personally think that Divi 5 will come out. And there will be some people who may want to go and use Divi, but I don't see why there needs to be a head-to-head. Just like I don't see why there needs to be a head-to-head with Bricks or Elementor. Why is it there's always this like toing and froing between what's the better builder? You will use what you want to use to get the job done. That's how you need to look at it, right? I want all of you to think about what I'm going to say next, and I want you to be really honest and put down your answer, okay? Tonight's meal. It's all different times of the day, so some of you have probably eaten already, depending on how late it is, right? Tonight's dinner, tonight's meal, right? For you, your family, whatever. How are you going to eat it? Exactly, shiny tool syndrome. What are you... I don't want to know what you're going to eat, but where's it... How's it being prepared? That's the question. How is tonight's meal being prepared? Is it a microwavable ready meal? Are you going to cook it? Are you going to order it like a takeaway? Is it leftovers from yesterday? Are you going to go to your family house and your mum or someone or a family member is going to cook it? Are you going to a restaurant? How are you preparing your meal? Right? That comes back to the tool, the same thing. It's not because then what we shouldn't do then is say, Gary, smoker. What do you mean smoker? Do you mean you're going to smoke the meal? So Chris says restaurant delivery. Alex says beautiful chef cooking fresh, right? That does not now mean that we have to have a debate over, is a restaurant delivery better than a beautiful chef? Or is the beautiful chef better than the restaurant delivery? Do you know what I mean? Or a smoked meal, right? So, for me, whatever Divi do, whatever Elementor do, whatever Breakdance do, whatever Gutenberg do, is irrelevant to the fact that you're going to use whatever you need to use to get the job done. So WebLogic is going to use Uber Eats or Just Eats. Is that because you're having a McDonald's? Right? So you will use whatever you want to use to get the job done. And the job you're all describing is to feel satisfied or kind of satisfied with what you eat. And that's how I look at it, right? That's how I look at it with everything. I feel like there's always this like, because the minute Divi 5 comes out, right, there will be videos with comparing it to Elementor. And then when Elementor have version 4, there'll be a comparison there. Then there'll be a comparison with Elementor version 4 and Bricks and Breakdance. Then maybe when Gutenberg do something else, there'll be a comparison to Bricks and Elementor and then maybe Divi 5. I personally don't see the point of doing that. Now, you could argue comparisons are good. When you're looking at what's the best phone or the best webcam or the best microphone or the best device, then they are kind of good. Because at that point, you don't know what you're going to go for. You are completely like in the unknown, right? I need to get a webcam. I don't know what's the best one to get. A YouTube video or a post or an article comes up somewhere and it goes, here's the 5 best webcams, and you'll watch it and process the pros and the cons, right? Your job to get done is you just want a webcam. So you're a little bit lost, and that's where the comparisons are good. But when it comes to, if you are using Bricks right now and it works for you, why would you need to change? You don't need to change. If you're using Elementor and it works for you, right now, you're happy with it, Forget all the problems and issues, you know, other people, whatever, and you might have, but you're happy with it. The version 4 is an upgrade then, so you'll just stick with it. So I think with Divi 5, I think that people that used to use Divi a lot and loved it until they realized it wasn't keeping up with the other players, they're going to go back to Divi and give it a go. But do I see a lot of people transitioning from Elementor to Divi? Not unless you were a previous Divi person. Will you give it another look? I don't think they will. Will there be lots of new people jumping into Divi? Well, that all comes down to how it's promoted and marketed, right? Look at Ocean WP. How many of you here used Ocean WP because you saw it being referred to in videos? Be honest with me. How many of you were using Ocean WP because previous tutorials were promoting Ocean WP? Be honest. The same goes with Cadence. The same goes with, what's that other one? Is it Blocks? No. Can't remember now. But how many people were using Ocean WP? Just because of promotion, right? So if Divi 5 comes out and loads of people start promoting it, because maybe there's like an affiliation commission going on here, and you start to see loads of people promoting it, have a look for the affiliate commission. If there's an affiliate commission, that should be telling you exactly why they're promoting it. The reason why so many people promoted Ocean WP, I never promoted Ocean WP, ever. Double check, I've never done that. The reason why they did is because there was an affiliate commission for it, right? And then loads of people used it. And guess what? One of the #1 themes for why things fuck up was Ocean WP. Whenever Elementor or WooCommerce or something updated, Ocean WP websites blew up. They didn't blow up, but you know, you get the idea. There was always an issue. Gary can say, as a now semi-retired designer programmer, I'm not leaving Elementor Pro. Exactly, that's the thing, right? So what Gary's just said there, if there's no major incentive to jump ship, I don't see the point in having a look. I seriously am not going to have a look. There is nothing to make me go, well, we got version 4 coming out for Elementor. Why would I want to spend time looking at Divi 5? Sounds really blunt, doesn't it? But that's the truth. I've been using iPhone since 2007, right? I've updated regularly. Not as much in the last 2-3 years. I tend to wait like every 2 or 3 versions before I jump to the next version. But I have no intention of looking at Android phones. Not because I got anything against them, but because I'm happy in my place. I used to have Mac. I went back to Windows for the Surface Pro. Went back to Mac. Will I ever go back to Windows? No, I don't think I ever will. Because you're in your comfort zone. And what I'd rather do is stick with how Apple improve, or how the iPhone improves, or how Camo, the app for my phone that I'm using as a webcam, improves. OBS, CapCut. I use CapCut for editing. I have no intention of using any other software. No, we're just talking about different devices, VJ, and new things that come along. So just to let everyone know now, I am making a public announcement. When Divi 5 comes out, you won't see any videos from me. You won't even see a comparison. You won't even see screenshots. So I'm letting you know now, if you ever wanted to see me do a Divi 5 video, you're not going to get it. Astra as well, like Mike said. Loads of people were promoting Astra as well. Again, the affiliate commission link thing. Gary was still using Ocean WB when I found you. Yeah, and I think once you hear the reasons why just using hello is enough, because you're going to be building out your header footer templates anyway, there's no benefit to using other themes unless there is a feature it comes that's cooked into it, which is so amazing that it would be stupid to try and build it yourself, because you might not get it right or even know what to do. WebLogic, if WordPress were on the all, not sure what you mean there, but we wouldn't need Divi Element. Oh, right, you mean if it was really good. There could be an in-house page builder that beats them all. Yeah, and that's, do you know what? To be honest, Bo, right? To be honest, if you go back 20 years, right? WordPress was big game changer, right? You didn't have to do everything hard hand coded in a way, right? WordPress, right? And then we had the theme forest and themes and all of that stuff, right? So you could chop and change what you want, but you were never truly satisfied, especially when the developers of some of those themes, they built a load of themes and then they disappeared, or they started upping their prices to like, you know, $40 a month or whatever. And back then, when you go back 20 years now, we're going back to 2005 or earlier, you were paying a lot of money sometimes for really basic themes, right? So the block editor and all of that was pretty okay for what you had. It wasn't until we then started to get page builders in a way, right? You know, the divvies, the oxygens, all this stuff started sprouting up, right? Even Visual Composer, Beaver Build, Bakery, all of that, Elementor came on the scene. That's when suddenly we realized we're not satisfied. We want proper drag and drop flexibility, building, and all of that. You know, feature rich. And that's where WordPress went stagnant. Then the Gutenberg project, which is still ongoing. And even though they believe that they are changing the way you build, I am not convinced at all. Some of the new features they've brought out feel like great, but you haven't made what you already had better. Like, there's one feature they've brought out, which is really, really good, where you can have your page and you can zoom out to view it as like 300 VH. So you get to see more of the page. That's really good. But no one asked for that. And all of your other blocks and the way you build, right? And the fact that when you click on a heading to then change the size, you got to click on something else. It's so clunky. You know, when you add in an image and when you want to position it, when you want to change it, it's so clunky, isn't it? You know, when you work on like the classic editor or whatever, Gutenberg, whatever, right? Isn't it so clunky? Like, you go click and then click. How many times do you have to click to do stuff? And then when you see it live, the image, which was meant to be like that, is not, it's so... Thank you for giving us the zoom out feature, but how about you focus on the core things? You can't get that right. Alex, Mac Mini, best value product. Yeah, it is. I mean, I've still got the Mac Mini M2 Pro. I'm not going to upgrade to the M4. I'll wait to see what they do one day with an M5, M6, because then by then this will be 2 years old then. So we'll get to see what we have later on. Raza Shop, is Hello enough for a clothing line? Yeah, it won't be enough if you find a reason for it not to be enough. It's like saying, is McDonald's enough for my meal tonight? Yeah, it could be. Or you might find you didn't order enough, or I don't know, the burger was super thin. Gary, exactly why I stayed hand coding design my business. Once WP got it together, it changed over. Yep. Mike says, thanks to me, he dropped Astra in Rato themes, just using the Hello theme. Clean, fast, and less issues. Astra does have some really neat WooCommerce features, but sometimes when you really go deep and you strip away all the niceties, you kind of go, well, I can kind of still do what I wanted to do with maybe an extra plugin that actually gives you a shitload more. Do you know what I mean? So stick to Hello. I mean, I've always felt, right, that I'd rather know that the theme I'm using is Elementor through and through, rather than you can use this theme with any other builder. That's where I always suspect that flaws will come in at some point, because they could update the theme because of Divi 5, but then what they do there to make it good for Divi 5 might affect what you then do with Elementor, kind of thing. WebLogic, I see so many people with WP Beta. Oh, yeah. I do a lot as well. Beaver Builder. Oh my God, so many sites I come across and they've still got Beaver Builder. But then again, if it's a legacy site and it works and the client's happy and it does the job, meets its goals and aims, why change it? You know, I need to stop contradicting myself here. I'm just saying to everyone, don't change if it works. So if it works, leave it. Yeah, so this happens with Elementor as well, what WebLogic has said about how some people get a website built by a developer and then the license hasn't been renewed and the client does not know that actually the website could be open to a vulnerability risk or an outdated feature or a problem. I see this happen a lot in Elementor as well. I have seen people come to me with a website and they've either got Elementor free and then 8 or 10 Elementor add-ons because the developer or the client did not want to pay for Elementor Pro. Big mistake. Or they have got Elementor and Elementor Pro, but the license has expired because they no longer work with the developer, so it's no longer running. And they think their website is okay. I mean, I've seen websites where like they're on like version 3.1, right? We're now on version 3.27, or is it version 328? Oh, I lose count. I think it's version 328, right? Or 327, 328. They're still on version 3.1. And we know there were loads of vulnerabilities and issues and security risks and stuff during those times in the last 25, 26 updates. WooCommerce and other stuff as well. So they've got websites that are just sat there that are taking payments, customer information, and everything on their website is like 3 years not updated. You know, you go to the website and they've never logged in and they got like 20. Number one, they have way too many plugins to start off with, but then they got like 40 odd overdue updates. The theme, everything is outdated, and you then start to suspect if the backups are even happening properly or whatever. I hate it when I see that. And that is why when I develop websites, I get you don't have to agree with me on this because you all have your own business model, but I get the client to buy the domain. I get them to pay for their hosting. I don't want to host them. I get them to understand their emails, right? And the DNS and all of that. Okay, I'll do it and then I'll make sure they understand and I'll give them notes on that. And I make sure they understand the licenses. And if they want to pay me to update and check things, they can do. If not, they do it themselves, right? But I make it clear to them that they have to maintain this, right? I make them understand. If you had a bricks and mortar shop, you would have to maintain that shop. The gas, the electric, broadband, Wi-Fi, whatever, even the structure of the shop, damp. Cleanliness, you'd have to hoover it. If you've got toilets in your shop, maybe a restaurant, you'd have to get that cleaned. Hygiene, the machines, the staff, salaries, work, all of this stuff. Your windows, you'd have to get your windows washed, right? Clean your door. Make sure you haven't got rubbish lying around. If someone's gone and like pissed in a corner, go and clean the piss up. You would have to handle all of these things. When you have an online website, that does not mean you go, hey, I don't need to worry about this. No. Pay for your domain. Pay for your hosting. Make sure your emails are actually going in and out. Make sure your website is secure. Make sure your customers' information is secure as well. All of that, all of these things. Any tools or software you're using for your website, make sure you're updating them when you need to. Make sure you're paying the licenses. Don't just think, oh, it's easy. Because a lot of people don't talk about that, do they? A lot of people go, oh, yeah, I'm making loads of money. I've got a shop. Oh, where's your shop? Oh, no, it's all online, mate. It's all online. I got someone built it. It's all online. But they don't know that maybe there were shortcuts made. Maybe things aren't totally robust. Maybe your website is this close to going offline and down because you've not updated or looked after your website. WebLogic, responsibility for licensing should be covered. Exactly, it is, and that's what I do in my proposals. So you will have seen my proposal documents. If you go to our website, We've got a $1 business pack that has our proposal document and our pricing matrix. So when I'm making clear in the proposal, the bit which is now the pricing bit, what is the aim? What are we going to do? What is the cost? When will it be delivered? And then what are the maintenance costs, right? Do you pay it monthly or every year? What are the licenses costs as of now? Who pays that? Who owns that, right? And then when you give them the onboarding document, you make that clear again in there. So, right at the top, it will be the domain. Who buys that? Or have we already got it? The hosting, who buys that? Or, how does it work? When are we going to do the domain to hosting, DNS connection, and the email? Who does that? Well, we obviously would, but there's a cost attached to that, right? If they want to do it, they can do it, and the cost is removed because they do it, right? When do you buy the licenses? Do you buy all of them at the start, or do you buy them stage by stage and wait till you get the right area? But who buys it? Who owns it? And then when you get to the handover at the end, that's the bit you make proper, solid, clear as day, as mud, right? You make that clear, okay? I mean, I've even resorted, you will have seen I've got some code snippet videos where into the screen options of your WordPress website, I might do a reminder video on this because I think it's really important. So, when you have screen options, I love to hide out loads of shit. Who needs to know about the WordPress news? It's like, fuck off. No one cares about that, right? Get rid of Hello Dolly, get rid of Akismet, right? Get rid of Jetpack, and get rid of that shitty WordPress news. Fucking screen option news fucking shit. Who cares about that? But you can add a screen option that is always visible that will say license renewal. You don't have to have the specific date, but you can say 12th of April each year or mid-April each year. Check your emails. Have your contact details there as well if they need to contact you, but you can make a reminder so they know. They know. Every year, I have to update Elementor and the cost you put in the bracket. They should appreciate that costs can go up and down. Your phone rental contract can go up a bit each year with inflation, the same with anything else. But you do that so they know. So they can't come back to you and go, you didn't tell me that. Oh, I don't remember that. What email? I never saw that. Make it clear to them. Hey, Beatrice, how are you? $1 I'm sold. But yeah, there's loads of stuff I give away for $1. Okay, if you want to go and have a look, go over to learn.websquadron.co.uk. The Elementor course is there. The CSS course is there. But scroll down and you'll see a heap of $1 things. You pick and choose what you want. Okay, and you get documents and stuff in there. It's the same stuff I am using all the time. And I think it's okay to share them out. WebLogic, transfer of licensing to the client can reduce churn. Client may change their mind about cancelling a maintenance plan when they see the... Yeah, and that's it. That is actually the trick. Okay? I basically what I say to the client is, in fact, this is how I do it. You break down your proposal, right? And then the client says, oh, I can't afford that. Can we have any discounts? I do not give discounts, right? Oh, sorry, let me get this right. Please pronounce with the Beatrice. Is it, when you say A, do you mean Beatrice or Beatrice? Is Beatrice. Beatrice. Is that right? Have I got it right now? Beatrice. There is still quite a bit of free stuff on there. There is some stuff I give away there. Beatrice. Her name's actually pronounced Beatrice. Beatrice and Eugenie. Princess Beatrice. So back to what WordLogic said, right? No, sorry. Proposals, right? So I'll break down the proposal and you'll see it in the business proposal pack. Client, so the project comes to $5,000. Client then says, oh, I can't afford that. Can we make any discount? I go back and go, look, that's the breakdown. If you want to make it more affordable for your budget, bearing in mind that I believe all of these things are needed to achieve your goals. You can knock off things, but just bear in mind, some of them might have an impact on something else later on. And if you decide later on you do want me to do it, then the cost gets added back on. And like loads of them have said, okay, yeah, we'll sort out our domain hosting connection, the DNS, we'll sort out our email, MX record and all of that. And we'll do our own SEO. I'm going to employ someone and I'll do that and I'll do this. And I go, fine, that's okay. Because it means that I know at what point I come in. 9 times out of 10, the client will come back going, I'm really confused. I'm really confused. I thought I did it, but I'm not sure if I did it. So can you do it at a reduced cost? So let's say I have said to do your DNS name server change is going to be £30. You're probably going to go, what? But all you're doing is changing the name server. Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to charge you £30 for that. And they might say, well, I've already done it. So all you need to do is log in and check. So, you know, maybe £5. I'm like, no, the cost is still £30. Whether you did it or not, whether all I do is eyeball it, I still have to spend time to log in and go to it and then check. I mean, I might, you know, I still have to go in. So whenever a client comes back to me and goes, oh, you know what? I tried to do the rank math. I think I've covered off all the settings. Can you just double check it? I said it would be £720 for me to do your rank math settings or whatever tool we're using. I'm still charging that. I said it would cost X amount to do your keywords on your homepage. You've gone and done it. You've gone and chosen your keyword and other keywords, and you've done your image tags and whatever, as your H1, your H2, you've done all of that. If you want me to go in and check it, I will still charge the same amount. Because if you think about any other business, right? Think carefully about this, okay? If you're having a new broadband router installed, there's a connection charge. If you don't want to pay it and you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. But even when you do it yourself, and now it's not working, and you just want someone to check the connection, to just check you put the right passwords in, or, you know, you did it right. You know, it's a 10-page document. You've done it all. You just want them to check it. You're still going to have to pay the same amount of money. So why should we offer a discount or do it for free? We don't. That's the mindset change you need to make if anyone falls into that trap where client doesn't want to pay for a part of it, so they go and do it, and then they come back to you to double check it. I do a lot of one-to-one consultations, right? And people pay for it. We talk through things, blah, 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 blah. Then some of them say, but how would I do X, Y, Z? And because it's during the call, I will give them the free advice, and I will even say, use this plugin, make sure you do this feature, make sure you do X, Y, Z. And then they'll say, how much would it cost for you to do it? And I'll tell them the cost. And normally you can see their faces go, whoa, okay, yeah, I think I'll do it myself. Fine, I'm not bothered. They will then go and do it. Then they email me and go, well, I've done it, but it's not working. Can you have a look at it for me? And they think I'm going to log in and run through their process for free. I'm like, no, sorry. Either book me for another one-to-one call and we'll go through it together during the time you've paid for, or you'll have to pay for me to go in and do it. And a lot of them don't like that. But that is the reality of real business. When you let people dictate what they will and will not pay for, or force the negotiation to get a discount, you've lost. You are open to scope creep. You will say yes to whatever comes through the door, and your mindset is now busted. You're broken. I have a very harsh, blunt mindset. I formed it many, many years ago, and I stick to it. I will never offer a discount. I will never lower my price. I don't care if you've lost your job. I don't care if you're homeless and you're struggling to eat. I don't care if you've got a terminal illness. My price is my price, because even if you had a terminal illness and you went into McDonald's, they will probably still charge you the same amount of money for a triple cheeseburger. So why should I drop for what I do? Do you get what I mean? And yeah, WebLogic. Why should I mark the client's homework for free? Because quite frankly, right, if you think about it, I'm still going to have to log in, go through the page, go through the code, look at it responsively, inspect it, probably find a bug because they've got a problem with it. I'm now trying to reverse engineer. Sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. Reverse engineer what the problem is for free. I got 2 words for you. Fuck off. Right? And that's how blunt we need to be in our mindset with clients, okay? Because they take web designers for a ride. They really do. And whenever I get like pushback from a client, yeah, but Imran, come on, man, we worked on this together. Why are you not doing it? I turn it around to their business. They sell food. They sell fridges. They fix printers, or they do stuff, or they sell vegan chocolates in South Africa. I had a business that did that, right? And I say to them, would you now give your product away for free? You would if the product you sent was flawed and broken and busted, or there was something wrong with it. You probably would give back a replacement. But did what I did, was it broken? Nope. It's what you did to it, right? So if what you did to it needs fixing, you need to pay me for it. And that's kind of what I hope a lot of you are taking away from these live chats. WebLogic, our billable time has to also pay us for our unbillable. Yeah, exactly. Like watching streams, like to stay on top. I maybe I should start charging. Maybe I should say to everyone, you need to become a YouTube member for 99 cents a month. And you can't join the live chats unless you're a member. I don't think a lot of people would like me for that. What do you think? I have actually considered it, but every time I consider it, I'm like, I think some people would actually not like it. Like Case just said, maybe we should charge me for watching. That's why I feel like it's not a good idea to do that. I'm still thinking about releasing some videos early. So like I said, I've got videos until crossing into August now. Now that's wrong. April, May, crossing into June. Uploaded and scheduled artwork, thumbnail art, all done. And I'm feeling like releasing some of them early, but only to members of the YouTube channel. Members does not mean subscribers. Members are people that pay $2.99 a month just to help support the channel. And there's a few. There's not a huge amount, but there's a few. I have thought about it, but, playing around with it in my mind kind of thing. Not planning to actually do something. Gary, I will never pay Google for a single thing. They are skunks in the first order. They are, aren't they? I really do despise all of the gatekeeping Google do and how complicated they make things behind the scenes. If any of you are a content creator on YouTube or other stuff, you have to go through so many hoops to get things done and fixed, because everything it reminds me of a hospital where you have like hundreds of departments and every department has got its own computer system. Hospitals in the UK are really fucked when it comes to systems, right? So this system does not talk to that system. And I don't mean people, I mean computer systems. Does not talk to that system, to that system, to that system. Everything is so disjointed, which is why things get lost in translation. Beatrice, that would be really awesome. Of course, I'm eager to become a member for that. Beatrice, it's one of those gray areas, right? It's one of these really gray areas where I could do something that brings extra income in for me, which is great for me to reinvest in the channel and other stuff I want to set up and do. but it could also have a knock-on effect that pushes people away from the live chat, you know. And I've got a few members. Not all of those, in fact, hardly any of those members now join live chats, which I always find a bit weird, but they don't join live chats because they're busy and they got lives and they got other things to do. So it's like one of those things. But when version 4 does come out of Elementor and I redo the Elementor learning course, I am planning to release it on YouTube for members only because, well, for a big major reason is it will be more accessible. And number 2, it will have much more translation capabilities for people that have said they would have joined the course if I had Spanish subtitles or Chinese subtitles or Mandarin or, you know, loads of stuff. And there comes a point where I'm like, I can't get the SRT and subtitles and import everything for every single video. The time and cost for that is ridiculous, and I'm not being paid enough to do that. But from the YouTube point of view, it would open it to a bigger, wider audience, and possibly make it way more affordable for people. I always feel that I would rather charge less and know that more people were accessing it. Because from a financial aspect, if you have 1,000 people who pay to watch something for $1, that's $1,000. Whereas you could have 100 people, 100 people that pay $10, which still makes up the same amount of money, but it doesn't always work like that. And because I've currently got an audience of over 100,000 subs, maybe only like 1% of all of them will participate in a course. Believe me, a lot of people don't. A huge amount don't. And I've spoken to other content creators and people too. So even if just 1%, suddenly we're like, you know what? I can't afford $50 for a course or $10 for a course. But maybe $1, $2 a month or $3 or $5 or $10, I don't know, a month. It becomes more affordable for them. I know, Gary. Cheers for that. Jamie, I would pay for deep dives into projects you do for more advanced stuff. Well, you know, I'm thinking about redesigning my learn.web squadron website soon. But I'm also considering waiting a little bit, maybe to see what version 4 is, but I might do that as a members only video. Something that's more raw kind of thing, you know, less editing, more like, okay, we've done this. Oh crap, that's wrong. Let's go and change it kind of thing. With regards to version 4 Elementor, Beatrice, version 4 is most likely going to be end of June, beginning of July. WebLogic, have you thought of setting up a circle community or paid member contact? Yes, I have. I have considered like inner circle and stuff like that. Here's why I've not gone down that road. I feel like it sets up a bit of a gatekeeping barrier for lots of people to join. I already have the Web Squadron Facebook group, and I have these live chats. I already feel like the Web Squadron Facebook group is pretty well run by me and other people contributing inside of that group and people that bring ideas, answer questions. It's not all me answering. I do my bit, but there's loads of other great people in that group and we get different views and stuff and, you know, problem solving. I do keep a tight leash on that group so it doesn't become like a toxic environment. I already have that and it's free. The only gatekeeping is I have to let you in. And I am, on average, denying, I would say, 5 to 10 people a day. So every time someone wants to join, I look at your profile. If your profile is locked, you don't get in. If you've recently joined Facebook, I have to go on experience and I don't let you in. If I have noticed that you in your own personal life are posting anything that is racist, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic, anything that is dangerous, anything that is, sexist, race, anything like that, I don't let you in. I am very harsh in where I draw the line because I want people to feel like they are valued in that group. Too many Facebook groups that I used to be part of, I don't go into them anymore because people come in with a mindset or toxic, or there's like bashing each other and whatever, and the point of the group is lost completely. That's not to say they don't still make good things in the group, but I always feel like, nah. So I've got that group and it's free. So I feel like if I'm going to start charging for something extra, that is where I have the courses or the $1 packs, or maybe the live chats. I don't know. Maybe the live chats, because some people do special live chats in their inner circles that you have to be a member for. Maybe I start doing that here and I stop doing the free live chat. I don't know. I've got to debate it at the moment. Chris, I'll be happy to pay a higher membership fee to get videos earlier. Well, I don't want to charge more, Chris. I'm going to be really, really, really blunt here and say I don't want to charge more. I think $2.99 is reasonable. I'm playing around with it in my head because I don't want to push people away. But I do want people to feel valued as well, kind of thing. And maybe I might say that if you're a member, there will be the opportunity for a dedicated live chat where they're on it with me. It's not open to everyone. It's only like, it's all done, it's all like scheduled. And that's where they get to talk about themselves, their problems, question, answer, back and forth. How can they improve things? Like a real chat with an agency, freelancer, web designers, real life kind of things. But I'm still flexing it out in my mind because I have things to do as well. I have loads of things to do. Like as soon as this is over, we've been live for 52 minutes and I'll probably be live for another 15-ish minutes. I have to jump onto other stuff. And then my son comes home and then I got to go and handle him. Do you know what I mean? And it gets all quite busy. Case, I like the feel on Paul C's circle. It's not as busy as his or... Yeah, I mean, the inner circles it feels more like a tighter community. But because I manage the Web Squadron Facebook group all the time, like the only time where I'm not involved in it is when I'm sleeping. I shut it down when I'm on a live chat because I don't want to get distracted. But 9 times out of 10, it's always open in the background here. And I can see it. I can see the comments coming in, things happening. Do I need to kick someone out? Do I need to let someone in? Do I need to double check? I'm so involved into it that loads of people 3 years ago, 2 years ago were saying, oh, go and start a Discord group. I thought about it. And then I realized I can't do everything kind of thing. Could you delegate it out? I could do, but then how can I be sure that moderators would apply the same logic that I would, kind of thing, and not use it just to further their careers or their agenda? Because that does happen as well, so you got to be careful. Gary says, too many people want to be first in line to bash someone that struck on an issue of... Yeah, I mean, it's... that's the problem, isn't it, really, in that... So look, yesterday in the Elementor group, Elementor quietly released the Send plugin last week, and I did a video on it. They haven't even formally announced it anywhere, have they? And I've already got my video out. It's quite funny, isn't it? I'm out there. Yay! First look. I did it. And then some people jumped on with, I prefer MailerLite, or it's not free. It is free. You only pay if you want to upscale and do more, right? It is free. And I always find with a lot of people that do this is, why did you need to comment? It's nothing to do with the fact it was my video. I can tell you now, that if anyone releases a YouTube video that I don't connect with or I don't agree with, I don't comment. I don't. I leave it. I just let them. They've said what they want to say. I go. If they said something profoundly wrong, even then I'd have to be like, is there any point me commenting? Because here's how I see life, okay? If I see someone reading a book on a train and I don't like that book, or when I read that book was absolute shit, that's not for me to go and tell them. They're reading the book. I'll let them make that decision. If I find out that someone is watching a movie, I might let them, and they ask me for my opinion, I'll let them know. But if they're going to watch a movie and I know it's a shit movie, I don't want to spoil that. I'll let them make that decision. If I go into a restaurant, right, or McDonald's, and someone orders a vegetarian burger, not because they're vegetarian, but they just want a vegetarian burger, I'm not going to go and go, whoa, stop. Get the triple cheeseburger. Blah, 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 blah. Wonderful. I'm not going to say that. I'm loving it. I'm not going to do that. They do what they want to do. And the thing I hate, right? Now Case makes a good point. What if you love the book? But here's the point, Case, right? Here's the point. You've hit the nail on the head, right? Someone releases a video or someone says something or whatever, right? And I like it. I will like it. I might let them know, oh, I read that. It's a really good book. I love it. Yeah, great. I hope you enjoy it. If someone puts out a video, Paul does a video, whatever, and I like it, I'll put a comment. Or I might put a like. I don't always comment. I might just give a like, right? I might say, yeah, I was looking into that. Oh, I agree. Oh, that's a great tool. That's a great method. That's a great code snippet. What I won't do is go on a comment and go, that's shit. Oh, you only did that because you've got an affiliate. Someone accused me of doing the send video for affiliate commissions. Go and look at the link. I gave people the link to the WordPress repository. There's no friggin' affiliate commission link, right? So I always say to people, look, unless someone does something that really rubs you the wrong way, right? Like someone shoulder barges you, right? Or someone, you know, attacks you or whatever, you're going to want to say something back or put them in their place or whatever. But if someone says, I like using Divi, I like using that, I'm going to use this, XYZ, and you don't like it, or you don't agree with them, you don't have to comment. Do you know what I mean? Right? I mean, I've been in restaurants where people are drinking with a straw, right? And there's a bit of a slurpy noise. It bothers me. It triggers me. Like in the cinema. You know when you're in a cinema, right? And you're watching a movie, right? And you know, and you know, there's an intense bit, whatever, and then someone decides to go and open a packet of crisps or a packet of M&Ms. And you can hear them crunching it because they decided to get peanut M&Ms. I love peanut M&Ms, but god damn it, they went and got peanut M&Ms. Or they got a big tub of popcorn. And rather than just delicately picking it up and let it soak in your mouth, here's the trick, people. Let the popcorn soak in your mouth. Let the spit and sputum surround the kernel. The popcorn kernel, not Colonel Sanders from KFC, the kernel. And then delicately bite and absorb and swallow. Right? No, what they have to do is dig their hand in. If anyone is triggered by ASMR, I apologize. If you're listening as a podcast, you're probably triggered. Keep your pants on. Right? They grab the popcorn and then crunch, 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 crunch. I cannot tell you, every night I have a moment with my wife where I kind of say, can't you eat quietly? And can I just say, right? Anyone who's ever worked in a corporate department, right? In an office environment, we know how to eat quietly. You're in a meeting, people have got food, yogurt, crisps, chocolate, drink, whatever you got. Somehow we have mastered how to eat quietly, haven't we? You can stick a crisp into your mouth and somehow we've mastered to quietly and delicately eat it. People who've never worked in an office environment, a corporate environment, I'm saying, right? They do not know how to eat quietly. Crunch, 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 crunch. I'm telling you now, WebLogic, I do. Even when she has mashed potato, somehow with soft mashed potato, there's a crunch noise. There's like a grinding noise. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, what? What? Mushy peas. How can you make a grinding noise with mushy peas? Soft chips. Like a burger, meat cheeseburger, right? I know that you have the pepper bit. There'll be a little bit of a crunch, right? But when you're at the bit with the burger and the bap and the sauce, right? There might be a soft noise as you're crunching it. You know, I do it. But there should not be a crunch noise. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry, let me go back to the comments. I've lost my mind now, okay? I lost my mind. But yeah, anyway, look, if you see something you don't like, any video, a method or whatever, you don't have to jump in and go, that's rubbish. I don't like that. What are you talking about, Sheila? You know, I don't give a Castlemania 4X about that. Good day today. Good day today. Good day to you. I don't care. You don't have to do that. Chill out, everyone, okay? Jagumantri, will there be WordPress developer job in 2025? Yeah, I've just got 2 clients I secured today. So yeah, there are jobs. If you're not getting clients, go to learn.websquadron.co.uk, scroll down and go and get the $1 pack on how to get clients. WebLogic did ask a question. Are the things in your business that you've done and then backtracked on after finding it was a bad idea or wrong path to take? Yeah. One of the things I massively regret doing is we're going back many, many, many years is using something like Bark to find clients. This is when I was still had a day job and I was still mixing around with getting clients and building up my profile many, many years ago, because they're the low clients. People that use Fiverr, you are going to get the low premium jobs. That's something I do regret. Hey, digital learning, love your content. Managed to build my website using just my tutorials. Digital learning consultant, if that's what you did, I worry about your website. No, I don't. Kudos to you, my friend. Case is absolutely right. Some people have nothing better to offer other than to berate and belittle. That's all they do. Tanmay, do you remember him? The one who jumped on and criticized and said, I'm a copycat and all of that. He's been after me for the last 3 years, criticizes everything I do. He jumped on again. If you go to the Elementor Facebook group, go to where I released that video about the marketing tool and you'll see his comment. Just look at his comment. Just have a read of it. Okay? Pulp. Sorry for this sudden unrelated question. If you had to pick one plugin, you need to watch the start of the video, today's video. My answer lies at the start of this video. Go and watch that because I will keep using Elementor until I find a reason not to use Elementor. That's how it is. It's a bit like I'll continue to drink Pepsi Max until the doctor says, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to die. That's the goddamn truth, right? Until a doctor says, right, you're now terminal, or you are close to terminal, or you are borderline, stop drinking Pepsi Max. I mean, mine is SodaStream, so it's like 90%, 95% mineral water. My wife hates it, by the way, when I comment on her eating. She really hates it. She gets really angry at me. But I keep telling her that, you know, I don't want to go to a restaurant with you if you're going to eat like that. I'm really honest here, okay? Because I just feel like I don't want to attract attention if you're going to eat like that. Crunching left, right, everywhere. Eating quietly is also important. Well, Beatrice, I have said to her, right, that I have noticed that in her family, a lot of people eat quite noisily. I used to work with someone, right? And when in the office, and when they ate with their mouth open. And I remember me and a few people says, you can eat with your mouth shut. Oh, no, I want to taste the food. I want to feel the food. And I says, your tongue is in your mouth, right? You can feel the food in your mouth. You don't need to do as you eat. I found that the funniest, most ridiculous reason for why he ate with his mouth open. And then one day, right, we were somewhere and he was there with his family and they were all eating and all of them around the table were like... And you know when people do that, they make that lick smashing sound. That sounds like Daffy Duck, innit? Sorry. What's going on? I swear that's got no vodka in there. All right. Or Baileys. Oh, Baileys. I feel like a Baileys now. Jamie, honestly, you're a character, brother. That's half the reason I'm here. Thank you, Jamie. I mean, I'm real. I when I do the tutorials and the courses, I have to be honest, I do change my tone because I don't know who's watching. I drop the odd joke in, you know, I try to be spontaneous. And I try to make sure I get across my points as honestly and transparently as possible. But when I do the live chats, this is me. If we were all in a room right now in a bar, this is how I'd be. When I used to work, I remember when I worked in the Lincoln offices or other places, some people were so not shocked, but surprised at how different I was compared to when I'm in the office. In the office, I joke around a bit. There's a bit of banter. I like to make sure people are happy, having a laugh, enjoying their work. But when I'm not in the office and we're now at a pub or a restaurant or we go out, I let it all out. Let's talk about whatever we want to talk about. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about your sex life. Let's talk about what we're eating. Let's talk about what we're doing, who we're doing, what we're driving, where we're going, what we're watching, what we're singing, are we dancing? Let's have a laugh. Let's be people. Real. Dinosaurs. Sorry, I just punched the microphone again. WebLogic, don't want to be that guy, Imran, but look into the... I know, WebLogic. I know. That's kind of why I've transitioned more into sparkling mineral water, which still is not great, but the soda stream, it takes the hit off a bit in terms of what you get in a Pepsi Max, but still a great drink. Tastes the same. Love it. Isn't Baileys with Pepsi a deadly combination? It is, Case, and I wouldn't go for it anyway. If I'm going to have Baileys, Case, it's got to be a double Baileys with an ice cube. Just because the ice cube, it makes it nice and cold. And as the ice cube dilutes a bit, I don't like it watered down, but as it does, it raises it up a bit. So it prolongs it as you're drinking it a bit, which is nice. There's nothing worse than a warm Baileys. I can't stand warm. In fact, even with wine, Pinot Grigio. I say Grigio. Some say Grigio. Some say Grigio, which I always kind of go, how'd you get Grigio? You're slightly stretching the eye. I say Grigio. Pinot Grigio, right? I like to have an ice cube in there. Again, not to water it down, but I like my drinks cold. There's something about me where the only time I want a hot drink is if I'm really poorly, got a real bad sore throat, and I need a good hot drink just to warm my throat up. Otherwise, I want cold. I want cold drinks. I just remember, did I text my wife to tell her not to pick up my son from school today because... Ooh, well, hold on, it's got to reply. So, yeah, don't pick him up. Don't pick him up. It's because it was raining earlier, but he wants to walk home, so I've said, yeah, don't pick him up. Anyway, sorry, got distracted there. I got distracted. Who inspires me in web design world? Honestly, no one. No one. Dribble, stuff like that. Who inspires me on YouTube? Easy. Dave Foy. Love him. Paul Charlton. Love him. Jeffrey. Love him. Wiki Design. These are going to be names you know I've mingled with quite a bit. Reno. living with pixels. Ferdy, I remember when I was first making the transitions into Elementor. I'll be honest, I don't really watch much Ferdy stuff now. And that's not a criticism, by the way, so please don't use that as a criticism. But starting off, so much, I learned so much about, when I was making that transition with Elementor and stuff. He had a lot of good videos. Now I prefer to follow people that don't just reinvent what was done the previous year and the previous year and the previous year. I find that some people, like I used to watch Daryl's Wilson stuff. Who else did I watch? Kevin McDonald, right? No, Wes McDowell, sorry. Kevin McDonald, that's Coronation Street. Wes McDowell, right? I used to watch their stuff, but I stopped watching loads of their stuff a good while ago because what I found was there was nothing new. Now I'm going to be really controversial because I've just said don't just criticize, but I'm not criticizing. I'm just being frank and open here. Some people put out stuff where it's just reinvents what was done the year before. So how to build a website with WordPress. It was the last year's one just redone for this year. How to use Elementor. Last year's video redone for 2025. How to build with WooCommerce. Last year's video just redone. There's nothing new. How many of you have watched how I was putting out tutorial videos, like big tutorial videos for Elementor, right? And then I did another big one in 2023. Then later on in 2023, I released the Elementor website course. Then I re-released it as the Elementor website course for 2024 version 2. I re-released it in September. If you look at when I do the big ones, have you noticed how the way I train and do it is different? Because when I did the version 2, there was so much more focus on the CSS framework side, the responsive side, how you could do things with your performance and stuff like that. So I adapt it. New methods, new ways, make it more slicker and all of that. I do find that some videos, they're a little bit more focused on pushing an affiliate commission link, like you got to use this theme and you got to get your domain from here. But was there any major change in how you can think differently and evolve? And that's why I'm very proud of the bulk of the videos I put out are brand new code snippets, brand new ways of doing stuff, doing things you never thought you could do inside of Elementor or WordPress. Things you did not even know you could do with what you had already, your theme or your plugin, to stop you having to go and buy a premium plugin or something else. So that's what I'm really proud of. That's what I bring to the table, in that always evolving, always trying to stay current, always trying to make you improve as well. Which is why this year especially, I don't just release how to do this video. I'm releasing productivity videos, get you to think differently about your business, get you to think better about how to get clients or work with your clients. Because I feel like they are stuff that I think a lot of people don't get or learn from how to build a website in Elementor. Things because we can teach you that all day long. But scope creep, difficult clients, the Eisenhower matrix, which is coming out, the iceberg model, which is coming out, new stuff. Yesterday's video, did you watch it, about how to get your text behind your overlay? Z index -1. Did you ever consider using that method to get your text behind your overlay without adding another image absolute position, which is what a lot of people normally do? Did you ever think about that? And that's what I want to bring to the table. And I hope I can keep bringing it for as long as possible. Case needs to bill me for over an hour of listening to me. Right, okay, I just checked. I just got a message, and I'm going to end the live chat in a couple of minutes now. Pulp, we know AI won't replace us anytime soon, but many bosses seem convinced. They're already dismissing skill. That's fine. Let them do that. They will then have to re-employ people. They may get rid of people, but there comes a point where you still need human intervention. And AI can do some things, and AI may replace some jobs, but I still feel like you will still need people, but time will tell. But that is why, if any of you are worried, start looking at what else you can do. Or maybe you need to become more of an AI consultant for marketing, for blog posting, for social media, for problem solving, for prompting. Maybe you can leverage that to get another job somewhere else. Like social media, right? How many companies were employing social media managers, campaign managers to do social media, right? To just post posts, to reply to DMs and messages. They're paying people 30, 40, 50,000 pounds, dollars to do that. Well, if now the flavor of the month and the year and the decade is AI, they're probably going to employ an AI consultant or something to do the prompting. You don't need to do a course to learn that. You become good at it. You show them, hey, I can give you the right kind of prompts to get the right answer or put us in the right area for the answers to improve your business or your communication, stuff like that. You leverage what's there. How many people were creating jobs for themselves as SEO experts, social media experts, and all they do, they get the client to give them the content, and all they do is get an image, put the words in, and release it. And they're getting paid like 200, 300 pounds a month to do, like, I don't know, 3 posts a week. A week. What? So you can leverage it. You can leverage it to help yourself out, okay? Weberlogic says, I keep hearing about this Figma thing. Makes me feel like I should know. Look, if you want to learn Figma, go for it. If you want to learn Adobe or whatever, go for it. If you want to learn how to use Divi, go for it. If you want to learn how to do CSS frameworks, JavaScripting, React, you learn what you want to learn. But what you've got to think about is this. If I learn how to make the perfect pizza, right? And how to cook it, and how to make the dough and stretch the dough and spin it around and slap it on the table and make the perfect pizza, or what I think is the perfect pizza, what's the point? Unless I'm going to sell it. Oh no, now I need to employ people and get a better oven and equipment and health and safety. Right, got all that. Do I now need to get a shop? No, I'm going to sell online. Right, so da-da-da-da-da-da. If I'm not going to make anything good from it and I'm just going to do it for me, I can still learn how to make the perfect pizza. But if I want to monetize it, I need to now make it work. So I would say, if you want to learn a skill and you want to do it, do it. If you're going to do it, and when you have clients, you know your clients are willing to pay for it, then you got to decide what you're going to charge. $100, $3,000, what you're going to charge, how long are you going to spend on it, how many revisions will you do? If you know you're going to monetize and make money out of it, and you know your clients will pay for it, think about your clients, think about your audience, right? And they are willing to pay for it if it was offered to them, then do it. If, however, you don't think they'll pay for it, then you can learn it, but don't get bogged down in it. I'm going to jump off now, everyone. We've been live for 1 hour, 18 minutes. I do need to go and do some stuff, and my son will be home soon, so I got to get ready for the noise. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I've really enjoyed today's live chat. I hope anyone listening who's not watching, please come and watch. And if you're not watching, I hope you are listening. Take care. Will I be back tomorrow? I think I will be, because I quite love doing these. Take care. See you all. Bye.